Good evening, YouTube. HeirofCarthage here. I am actually recording this on April Fool's Day, though you won't see it till the next day. So just for this one day, I guess I'm the Heir of Fools, or at least I was in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, you should. We were having a lot of fun. You all definitely need to join in. Check out the link in the description. Anyway, welcome back. I'm going to narrate you through the end times with Archaon the Everchosen, who's about to land in the shores of Khemri. He might have to make a short pit stop and kill some peasants on the way in. This is just a good landing point up here by Phyrus. There is going to be some repetitive stuff that has to take place here. Me wrecking the same old weak sauce Bretonnians, and Kholek having to make his way all the way down here to kill the dwarves, but he may have to make a pit stop through Middenland to help rid the north of Bretonnians. So we've got to get rid of some Bretonnians, okay? The dwarves are still going to be a target for Kholek. Is going to be working there, but I've got some work to do in order to get to them. So, that said, there's some things that I want to take care of that I'm going to do off camera. So I'm going to skip some stuff that will be somewhat repetitive because clearly they can't put up the kind of fight. And then when I come upon good fights from the Tomb Kings, then I will show you those. It's going to be new, fresh, something different for the campaign, and then we're ready to start fighting the dwarves. Same thing. So I'm going to cut out all the nonsense that would just end up being episodes on end of the same thing, so you're welcome. Anyway, let me jump into the comments real quick, check through all the comments we had. So starting with this first one here, it says the unit missing in Vardek's army, I think, is the Regiment of Renown Hell Cannon that got zerged by cavalry. You are correct. That Hell Cannon is still 2 turns from being recruitable. We will replace the chariot with that cannon, the Soul of Damnation. And then Terhilius gives us a story, I guess, about Archaon. And Archaon has sailed up to the lands, and so let's do this. There he is. He's landed near Phyrus. And as he lands, we get this story, so prepare yourselves. When the Dark Fleet reached the Southlands, it was the Everchosen's personal ship which reached the sands first. Riding the steed of the apocalypse, Archaon witnessed the land which would be his newest battleground. On his right hand, the sword of Cain, god of murder, whispered promises of great battles and glory, of ancient foes who would finally give his dark legions an interesting fight. My lord, returning from a long flight, Sextus landed his manticore next to his lord and master. We found the first of the enemy settlements. Archaon nodded, his eagerness matching that of the sword of Cain. Finally, the undead kings of Khemri will... Actually, my lord, interrupted the paladin, it's not the undead kings who we found. Miles beyond the beaches, they found the castle, a banner with a roaring lion hanging proudly at the top of a long pole. Seeing the forces of the Everchosen, the lone men-at-arms appeared, his old armor rusty and covered under several layers of sand. Hello, who's this? He asked in an annoyingly high-pitched voice. I am Archaon the Everchosen, bringer of the end times, master of 1,000,000 warriors, shouted Archaon. Oh, from Paravon then? Or maybe Bordello, the men-at-arms asked. It matters not, snapped Archaon. What matters is you and all of those in this castle will... Hold on, that arrogance, that horrendous color combination in your armor, you must be from the Empire, the men-at-arms spat at the sands. No deal then. You are dealing with powers you cannot comprehend, you snarled Archaon. You don't frighten us, Empire pig dogs. Blow my nose at your silly end times. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, your father an even uglier rat. The men-at-arms coughed and then took a sip of some not-too-clean water. Now go away or I'll taunt you a second time. Archaon slowly turned to his warriors. I am done. The end times is not a secondary objective. From now on, every Bretonnian you see, you kill. Understood? I can only take so many Monty Python references. Monty what? Asked Sextus. Once Archaon was out of earshot, Appius just shrugged. How'd y'all like it? It was awesome. Thanks, Terhilius, as usual. We appreciate your chronicling of the end times. And there's been other people written stories too, and they're all awesome. You guys make sure you always check the comments, especially give it a day or so. Come back, check it again. We got Matt Fontwell. He says, Heir, what races are you thinking of doing next? Will there be a poll so we can vote? Yes, there will. So that's a great question, Matt. When the time comes, I'll make a big video. I'll make several announcements. We'll put the poll up for a good length of time. I will probably dictate the factions that are going to be in the poll. And then you all can pick from amongst those. So it won't probably just be like this giant open slate. I'll pick something that fits something we haven't done or has a potentially cool theme or something like that. And of course, before we get to that, I'll host some time either in the comments of a video or in the Discord or both, where you all can come in and suggest different themes that would make good campaigns. Alright, John Lilly says, you should name one of the great weapons chosen in Sigvald's army, the heavy metal musicians going around playing Sigvald's theme song as he charges into battle with some epic riffs on their axes. We can do this. I like this idea. The heavy metal musicians, huh? Alright. Black Blades. This unit right here. So this is going to be heavy metal. I'm going to put the heavy metal theme. So we got heavy metal in there. Good suggestion, John. Centurion Titus wants me to name the Chaos Giant Steve, and it seems like he got quite a few people who agreed with him. And apparently he always looked up to Crush Skull and idolized him, and all he wants to do is be Crush Skull. So he has a little story here. I'll read it real quick. It says, Steve rose early every morning to work out. He fetched his club and battered some prisoners left, right, and center in an attempt to improve his swing. Yet his club, named Hit Thing, wasn't his own weapon. His rancid breath was extremely effective at killing people. He consumed only the most rotten of meats, the most moldy vegetables. In his free time, Steve loved to watch Kevin kill. It was said that after Crush Skull, his second idol was Kevin. It was Steve's honor to fight with Kevin, and one day Steve would fight by his hero's side. I like it. So apparently the giant is going to be named Steve. This giant is likely to die in an auto-resolve, no thanks to CA's unbalanced auto-resolve. Alright, Steve the Giant. Count Saruman says that Terhilius was the only character not wounded because he was too busy narrating the mighty Vardek Krom with the most astounding swagger. Did march forth, he did puff out his chest, which had greater fortitude than any dwarf Karak, and smiling, he did take the chronicle's rightful wooing maidens unto his own I guess Terhilius didn't have to worry about being assassinated because of his awesome story. Oh man. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. I want to go ahead and get working on this episode, so thank you for the feedback. I will get into more comments next time, but I want to go ahead and start plowing through some of this repetitive stuff, and I will come back when we have you all a battle. Archaon's going to swing around through Phyrus and Al-Hakik and over to Xandri. I won't let you all miss any of the Tomb King action nor any of the Dwarf action, so don't worry, you're not missing anything new. Alright folks, I'm quite a few turns on. Wanted to just give you all a quick update on everything that's happening here. First, the Sword of Cain is festering into dominating power, so of course we're keeping the sword. It's going to cost me more upkeep and all that other stuff, but it's not like I'm short of money these days, so we are keeping that Sword of Cain. It's now dominates, so it says the Sword of Cain has fully merged with its current wielder. The weapon will not be relinquished unless taken from its owner's corpse. And let's be honest with ourselves, is it really possible to kill Archaon? And the answer is no. So we get an extra 650 armor-piercing damage, plus 35 melee attack, 30% ward save, magical attacks are unbreakable, and the Sword of Cain vortex ability. Bretonnia is nearly squelched. I'm waiting on the Dark Elves to take care of the last couple pockets. There are armies for the Vessels of Chaos all over the place, which should prevent my enemies from spreading back into lands that I've conquered, as long as one of those armies spawns. I have one more army of Bretonnia to take out in Dieterschaffen. Felmann had to change his army up a little bit, and I'll splice in a screenshot right here. You all take a look. So yeah, he had to destroy like 17 Terror guys. So yeah, I swapped up his army. We'll swap it up a little bit again. I took out the chariots and the standard chosen so that I could kill all the Terrorgeist, and you can see that there's a few of them that were left over, but fortunately I think that we've talked him out of the extra Terrorgeist. Now, Archaon has just about cleaned out all the peasants in the desert because he's so tired of Monty Python references. So that's the last of the desert peasants, and he is now headed towards Khemri. Cetra, in fact, on the last turn, just tried to make a non-aggression pact with me. That's pretty funny, Cetra. Keep dreaming. Anyway, that pretty much catches you all up. I'm gonna roll through some more turns and catch you into battle whenever Archaon is ready to take on Cetra in open combat. And at this point, though, I've cleared out Bretonia. The dwarves are going to be one of our last objectives in terms of true campaign objectives. So I'm going to move Kholek and Felmann. Actually, I was kind of thinking of taking Sigvald and Patchy, but sending Kholek to help out Felmann. And then Vardek, Sigvald, and Patchy, I was thinking could go do some fighting against the Greenskins or the Wood Elves, just to give you all something different while we're busy wrecking the dwarves with Kholek and Felmann. Anyway, see you soon. Diedrich Vanal, the Master Necro-spammer. I wouldn't say necromancer. Look at this freaking Terrorgeist spammer. Look at all the Terrorgeist. There's going to be a whole bunch more coming in as reinforcements. So, yeah. Boy, does Felmann have his work cut out for him. Now, in order to make sure the odds are even more stacked in Felmann's favor, I've deployed all my Chosen with halberds, because remember, I did modify his army some. We took out the chariots for now and the standard shielded, Chosen, the sword, sword and shield variant. So we're going with just these halberds mostly, and then I do have some armor-piercing anti-infantry variety that doubled to be decent. And of course our trolls are going to provide us some mass and armor-piercing for downing big flyers when they land. I have targeted Diedrich. Well, I thought I did. I guess I'm targeting a Terrorgeist right now, but I'm going to change my target to Diedrich and destroy him with my Hell Cannons, so that he can't exert his leadership influence over this vampire army. And then, of course, my own flyers. That is the true danger of a battle like this, is having flyers whenever you are vastly, vastly outnumbered means that you cannot be caught in the air. You have to get grounded. Oh my goodness, that Chaos Dragon's disgusting. Look at its, like, big mouth armpit. Talk about, like, BO and bad breath all in the same thing. So I put my Chosen with great weapons up front to take the infantry. I'm going to stay in the woods, deep in the woods. Do have a Terrorgeist coming down on my flank. We'll get the halberd units after it quickly. So all these Terrorgeists are going to get zerged by trolls and halberds the minute they land. You can see all the breath attacks coming in on Felmann, and this is one of the enormous dangers that he's in. Plus, he's a huge unit, and he'll take all the charges of these units. I'm going to use Cocoa Pox to Soul Blight all the enemies, and then I've also been using the Helm of Discord to hugely nerf the incoming Terrorgeist. You can see their melee attack all the way down to 1. And I'm then going to pull Felmann back, but look at the breath attacks, just one after another after another. The AI is just obsessed with Lord sniping, but you can kind of use that to their advantage, where I've dragged all these Terrorgeist into a really bad fight. It's just the breath attacks that are hurting me really bad at this point. Lots of painful breath attacks. I left one unit of halberds back here because sometimes the AI will zerg your cannons. You can see the left flank is already rolling up in our favor. We've downed a couple of Terrorgeist already, but let me get you a close-up just to see what we're up against. I've got trolls and Chosen with pointy sticks all over the place. Felmann is in the fight of his life. All of these Terrorgeist are armor-piercing, anti-large, and they poison. So, very destructive force the vampire has here. Felmann barely escapes alive. Cocoa Pox is going to give him an escort back into the fight. And then I'm able to get back in here and get another extended Soul Blight, which, again, will nerf these guys pretty significantly. Being chased by a Terrorgeist, though, so we gotta watch out with Cocoa Pox, a quick dodge. And then we're going to get these two back down on the ground and see if we can get in a more advantageous fight. I'm going to Spirit Leech this Terrorgeist chasing us. Now I can turn around and charge him because he landed. And I hit him with a breath attack of my own. Of course, mine does no damage, but theirs does. It's just very convenient that way. This blob fight over here is insane. There's now Cairn Wraiths. Not worried about the vampire infantry in the least. Not in the least. If we look at the balance of power, it's stacked against us, but The balance of power is going to start to quickly sway. Terrorgeist are starting to drop all over the battlefield here. This one's about to crumble out. Be gone. All those halberd attacks will put him out of his misery pretty quickly. Does Terrorgeist regenerate? And if there's a Master Necromancer around, they regenerate even more. By some miracle, Felmann is still alive. He's back towards the back. Coco Pox routed. And I'm going to actually get Felmann out of there because he's getting hit by breath attacks. He's down to 80 and he's going to rout. But I'll be able to get him back towards the white line and keep him safe. Fighting in the trees means that all of the large units should get a disadvantage. So I'm doing everything I can to slow down the charges, the breath attacks, anything that I think will help. You can see my hell cannons over here that just got done working one of the vampire lords, who's now gone. There is another vampire reinforcement army coming in. I'm going to hit these Graveguard a little bit and then start targeting another vampire lord there. You see Felmann, I'm just going to keep him in the background. We've still got a significant number of Terrorgeists. Look at the balance of power. It still says we're going to lose. The question is, can Felmann Ingerson actually lose? We'll see what the survey says at the end of this battle. Look at all the dead Terrorgeist. But the vampires aren't done yet. Here comes in a new wave of Terrorgeist. You can see some of them full health. Vargeist diving in, and a whole horde of vampire infantry and crypt horrors headed this way, as well as a Black Knights with lances and barding. Romulus, ever faithful here, hasn't given up the fight. He's dive bombing one of the Terrorgeist. He's going to get in here and help down another one of these things. So another Terrorgeist down. The Vargeist did go for my cannons, and they were shut down by my cannon guarding halberds there. And then the Graveguard with great weapons, I focused my trolls in on them, and they took a pretty savage beating. The Vargeist are a glass cannon. As soon as they land into this heavily armored infantry, they will melt like vampiric butter. But it won't stop them from zerging in. The pile of corpses on the battlefield is really starting to add up. And if you look now, still the power bar says that we are disadvantaged. I've got a lot of angry chosen with halberds who disagree. This is a pile of armor and armor-piercing blades that are going to send these awful beasts back to their crypts by the power of the Chaos Gods. Oh yeah. Well, you'll see the overhead here. There's still a lot of vampires, and if you look at the troop count, we were 670 up against 3,130, and that included about 17 or 18 Terrorgeist in total. You see the Crypt Horrors are now into the fight. They'll actually be doing pretty decent against my chosen with great weapons that are up there, but as soon as they get into this pile of halberds, the vampires have no answer to this. Their monsters can't kill it. Their necromancers apparently don't have the right spells for blob busting, or they're not being used, one of the two. That Terrorgeist landed and looks like it just died. It was just sitting there. I'm going to pull my trolls out of the fight. I'm going to let them do some healing. So if I pull them out, they'll regenerate. I'm going to let the vampires keep chewing on all this infantry. You can see the power bar now starts to come to its senses and realizes that despite the number of vampires, considering how many of their Terrorgeist, their Vargeist have been felled, their lords have already killed several, and the vampires finally crumble. All their necromancers were destroyed, and the magic binding them ceases. Just look at that beautiful sight, folks. Felmann Ingerson, a true hero of the chaos. How'd you all like starting off with a battle? Well, I say starting off. Obviously we had other stuff, but I figured we'd jump right into a battle. And I've kind of recorded this in pieces, so that's probably why my mind's out of it anyway. But Felmann Ingerson, the greatest Norskin to have ever lived. and one of the most loyal lieutenants that Archaon has ever seen. Now, no doubt, and this is another thing that just absolutely baffles me. Explain to me how vampire armies crumble on the battlefield. Crumble. Gone. Dead. No survivors. Even says so in the battle screen. And there's survivors. CA, please? CA, please. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna replenish my troops a little so that we can finish off these remnants of the vampire losers here. But obviously Felmann Ingerson earning himself a well-deserved victory there, an incredible victory. And all of his units somehow survived it, which is just baffling considering the number of Terrorgeist. And that is not the first time I had to destroy a giant stack of Terrorgeist. But boy, Chaos chosen with halberds do very, very nicely. Very nicely. Against Terrorgeist. So, give you all a quick overview where we're at. Bretonia has this one province here in the northern Grey Mountains. I think it's just one province. No, they're down to 2. My bad. But where is their other one? Where are these losers hidden? They've got this province in the northern... Oh, okay, yeah, there's the 2. The elves look like they're going to siege them at Lanquil. The Dark Elves. So, Bretonia will be finished. I am moving Kholek, and Felmann is already in the mountains, but Kholek is going to be moving towards the mountains to go on a Dawi stomp. And then I was just going to clean out some vampires and some greenskins with my other armies, and if you all want to fight the Wood Elves, I'll be watching that. You know, we could make that kind of like a fun objective to burn down the Oak of Ages. I guess just a little bit of extra spitting on the old world since we can. So yeah, you all tell me what you want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Oh, I'm gonna stop. I will stop, I promise. Well, I don't promise much, but let's see if Archaon... I can't remember if Archaon has his movement points. I'm looking... I could destroy some of these outer settlements for the Tomb Kings, and maybe I should declare war so that I can get their attention. But part of me kind of wanted to... you know, I think we will start destroying some of these outer settlements, because I want to get the Tomb King's attention and get a big stack of Tomb Kings to come fight us. It's my objective there. And if we end up against a lot of constructs or stuff, should be an interesting fight. I mean, Archaon's army is magnificently strong. And unfortunately for the Tomb Kings, they did not make the right friends. They only wanted to be friends with each other, and although they have the Dune Kingdoms, they have a lot of enemies. If they would have made good with the Dark Elves somehow, I would have kept them somewhat safe from me, in the sense that I would have had to worry about tipping that war off, but they didn't. Prepare to perish, Cetra. Prepare to perish. And no, I rule. I as in Archaon. Anyway, Bel Aliad has fallen. And we're going to start moving on the Pools of Despair and these other places here. A lot of this is owned by the Dune Kingdoms. I'm not even sure how much Khemri owns. But we'll push forward and see what we can find. And start wrecking Tomb Kings a lot. It's the best kind of Tomb King. No, actually, I like the Tomb Kings. But in this case, it's the best kind of Tomb King is a wrecked one. Alright. We're finishing up our last bits of tech research. I think it is only this one. And then we will have finished all the tech research. Looks like Archaon is ready to get on the move. Got some Khemrian agents out here. See what we can stir up. The Black Tower of Archaon is controlled by the Dune Kingdoms. Let's head into the heart of Khemri, shall we? Yes, we shall. Ooh. We got a Tomb King army over here. Come on down. Let's have a talk, King Intez. Let's have a little discussion. Fill you in on a little thing called the end times.
What? Ravage them.
First of all, that auto-resolve is ridiculous. Tell me one thing these vampires can do to actually stop me with that army. Walls, no walls. I mean, you all saw what Felmann did to all those Terrorgeists. Do you really think what's inside those walls is going to have any prayer of stopping my men in any respect? No. No, they won't. Is there some reason why I don't get all of my reinforcements?
Are you a god? Unleash chaos.
Okay. I guess you only get 2 reinforcements here for whatever reason. Sure. Not really sure I understand that, but loot and raise. Wow, there's a whole lot of vampiric corruption here. Normally once I raise the province, we're not suffering attrition anymore, but... Well, it looks like all my armies did take place because they all had a little bit of damage. The amount of damage that it awarded the vampire off that auto-resolve was a little bit ridiculous. So Isabella von Karstein is here at Norden, and she better have a very good army. It's... Look at this Mortis Engines tear, guys. By all accounts, it could be a very painful army to defeat, but let's have a little fun with the Mountain God, and we'll see if Isabella's up to the challenge. Oh, Isabella von Karstein. She will heal. She will heal a lot. She's going to be up against Kholek, who, once I activate all of his abilities, can deal about 1,250 weapon damage, which is armor piercing and anti-large both. We're going to see the vampire army. I'll give you a quick overview. I'm going to attack their cavalry with the Summoners of Rage, and then I've got some of my Dragon Ogres out here as well. And then I've got my Shaggoths in here, all of our Deadly Sins. They are swinging into battle, and Isabella lands, and Skull-X, and 2 of the Deadly Sins here. We got to see which ones they are. They're going to immediately jump on Isabella, so we got Skull-X, Gluttony, and Envy, who have all jumped at Isabella to here. But Isabella is a slippery and quick healing target. She won't be easy to stop. She got away, and look how quickly she healed off now. Some of you may be saying, well, Error, she didn't even take any damage. Oh, yes, she did. Take a look at this real quick. I know I paused it. This is not usually what I do, but look at that. She healed up 1,400 hit points in that short time she's on the guy. She can heal any damage you throw at her in a late campaign like this. And she can heal a lot of it. A whole lot of it. See my Chaos Giant here. And then Kholek is really looking for an opportunity to get after the von Karstein heiress who just landed here. It's like Envy and Gluttony still in there along with Skull-X. Kholek is dropping a big beating. Those zombies are getting annoying though because they're distracting Kholek's attacks. But now Isabella is well and truly pinned, and not even she can heal off the amount of damage that she's taking, and just look how quickly that damage is coming. She is getting absolutely savaged in this fight, and I can't keep my mouse cursor on her properly, but you wouldn't believe the rate at which she's healing whenever she uses the right abilities. But Isabella von Karstein is going to be downed by Kholek, which means that Kholek will now gain the regeneration trait, and with their lady re-dead, sent back to the grave, and buried with garlic, no doubt, Kholek and his forces have easily bested the von Karstein scum, and the remainder will perish to crumbling without the magic of their master to hold their rotting corpses together. So a huge victory for Kholek's Sun Eater. Wow, Isabella can heal an insane amount of hit points. Unfortunately for her, it wasn't enough. She would have to have healed an absolute, otherworldly, ludicrous, oh my goodness. Look at this, trait gained, regeneration by Kholek. Oh, yes, that was worth the stop. So no, I don't intend to use Kholek to kill any more vampires. He's going to head straight to the mountains to meet up with Felmann Ingerson, the Terrorgeist Slayer.
You have my favor.
It's amazing that these guys like still have units here. It's honestly kind of ridiculous. I don't know how many Terrorgeist I'm going to have to slay, but apparently it's going to be a large number. I'm actually going to break the siege so that I can keep healing. And look at this. These guys have gone off and just raised the dead. They're healing up those Terrorgeist. I've got an idea. We're going to split these guys up. I'm tired of attacking them where they got this big garrison that like replenishes very quickly. So I'm going to swing down here and take off these scraps, like pick them off one by one, and just kind of keep that going until Kholek is ready to meet up and continue things. Now, Prince Sigvald has done a lot here in his skill tree. He's finished Scarred Veteran. I'm going to go ahead and give him Deadly Onslaught, and then we'll do more Blade Shield. It's always good to get tons of that melee defense because it will make your legendary lords near, like, unhittable. I know it sounds kind of funny saying that, but it's definitely what would be the case. Let's upgrade the Manticore there for Besornling. And then Elvis the Blind Swordsman. Let's see, we got the Aura of Chaos. Let's go to Foe Seeker. And that should be good for this turn. Oh no, hostile agent success. Alright, Napa Bloodheim did get wounded on some turn-ins. He's obviously no longer wounded. I love seeing these filthy vampires on the run. Look how many armies they got here. Not scared. Not scared. Let's take Vardek, and I'm gonna actually head up north and destroy Brasskeep. Actually have to sit for a turn because we don't have quite enough movement points. And looks like Patchy needs to heal a little because of that agent action. I wonder. Let's just continue the siege. And then I'll move up Sigvald and let him do a little bit of healing so that we don't lose any of his units in the auto-resolve. I didn't actually want you on the river.
A beautiful decision. I'll move, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I suppose you should move. Now I should have just left him on the river.
The Dark Prince wishes.
Oh well, I'm stupid. Yep. Oh, don't tell me those guys ran off. They did. Cowards. King Intez the coward. What a pile of bones. Doesn't have a spine even though he is a pile of bones. It's kind of incredible. There's Khemri. There is a Tomb King there, but I still don't see Cetra. I want to push further, and I want to give myself a big battle before I just waste time assaulting a no-name, nothing settlement that is of no consequence. Wow, I could probably just auto-resolve this with Patchy and Sigvald. Hopefully it won't kill any of my units. It did not. Okay, I didn't know Sigvald was in reinforcement range. It's actually kind of incredible. They'll both suffer some vampiric attrition, because we gotta spread more chaos corruption in these provinces. Should be spreading rather quickly at this point. And then Patchy the Eversalt is nearing his Chaos Dragon. One more turn. He's immortal, which is great. We definitely need that. And now he has Arcane Conduit, which will help a great deal as well. It'd be nice to get a arcane item for Patchy that helps summon up more Winds of Magic. The Kentucky Friar is now immortal too, and not just because of his 11 herbs and spices. Alright, never leave a Dark Elf to do what Chaos Lord should be doing. They let Bretonia resettle something. Unbelievable. Come on, Marathi. I thought you were supposed to be a good puppet of chaos here. You get all this land because of my hard work. The least you could do is to properly extinct some pathetic peasants of the old world. Really don't feel like I'm asking for much. Immortality for Vardek now? This is good. And as for Terhilius, let's continue getting him all of his different magic tree stuff here. Let's improve the enfeebling foe. It's a good spell. And as for Patchy and Sigvald, they need to do a little healing.
Who are these grotesqueries?
That's a good question, Sigvald. It's a good question. These grotesqueries.
A glorifying act.
Oh, you don't want to protect Waldenhof, huh? Nice city. Don't mind if I loot it. Huh?
They will be dominated.
What you gonna do about it, vampires? What you gonna do about Felmann Ingerson in your backyard? Nothing, that's what. Dang losers. Undead trash. Unworthy to stand in the presence of chaos. Alright. Is there a Tomb King worthy of taking up the challenge? Look at this, the dwarves actually have lands all the way down here. Is there a Tomb King anywhere worthy of taking up Archaon's challenge? Let's see here. Khemri is only strength 34. So the Doom Kingdoms are stronger. Well, so be it. We're going for the Black Pyramid. If these guys don't want to come out and play, oh, I'll find a way to make them play. The Black Pyramid is well defended. Since Cetra can't do it, it's up to King Enelshin and his army to protect the Black Pyramid of Nagash, and there are going to be some big constructs there for us to potentially beat down what should be an interesting fight. Alright, Kholek can kind of continue his rampage towards the vampires. There's so many vampire armies around here.
Insolence. Never. Are you a god?
So many vampire armies. I'm not really super worried about the vampire armies, but I'm gonna stop short. I could hit Castle Van Rauken and destroy it, but then I would probably... Actually, I don't think I would take any attrition after destroying Castle Van Rauken. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it, because honestly, if those two vampire armies come after me, I don't think they can defeat me. Yep, I don't think they can defeat me. Alright, we finished all the Blade Shield. We can do Deadly Blade and Indomitable. I think Kholek is he not unbreakable? It's kind of incredible that he's not. Let's give him missile resistance. He won't need it against the vampires, but coming up against the dwarves here soon, he most certainly will. If he doesn't, I would be shocked. Assault units here with Nappa. You failure. Well, I guess that however many Terror guys we destroyed last time wasn't enough, because Ratep here went and recruited another whole bunch of them. This is a little bit ridiculous. It's like just borderline pure insanity. That's 12 more Terror guys plus these, so that's 15 more Terror guys that I have to kill. Oh well, we killed more than that last time. How many Terror guys is enough, folks? Well, however many we killed earlier, which was near to 20, obviously wasn't enough. We've got a Strigoi here incoming. I'm going to use my Trolls and Chosen to put an unreal beat down on them, and this Strigoi is going to meet the wrath of Felmann, Romulus, Remus, and Coco Pox. That's quite the crew there. Quite a motley crew. See the Vampire Infantry here is just going to get absolutely destroyed by Chaos Trolls and Chosen. This is a beautiful sight. 3 Terror guys coming in with the Strigoi. And unfortunately for me, Felmann jumped up off the ground and took a big bite on the rump. I have to get him back down here. I'm going to send some Chosen with halberds into this fight to help support him. You got to be careful because he's already taking a lot of breath attacks and charges from just these 3 Terror Geist, and we have at least 12 more to kill after that. I've got my Hell Cannons turned towards the advancing enemy reinforcements so that I can shoot the Lord with the Hell Cannon. It's not a bad way to snipe him from a distance, and that way I don't have to commit units at the risk of getting them killed. So I'm able to get some Chosen with halberds over into this fight. So I'm going to pull Felmann back just a little bit in an attempt to get these Terror Geist right into the midst of all these halberds and trolls, where they will quickly start to fall apart. They are very tough units, though. Their regeneration terror, poison, all the different attributes they have is a little bit crazy. They are good units. And then they each have 2 breath attacks too. So they are indeed a vampiric super weapon of sorts. However, that doesn't mean they're any match for Felmann and his forces. And the AI, ever being the cycle charging jerk they are, you can see they're able to pull out of just about any fight. That one gets into the air and manages to get yet another breath attack on Felmann. I'm pretty irritated at that, so I'm going to chase him down. I normally would not fight in the air, but Romulus, Remus, Coco Pox, and Felmann are all looking for vengeance, and they get it for that cowardly attack. And then there's just the one more. He just breath attacked me from the ground. What a cheater. CA, please, did you see that? That Terrorgeist just breath attacked Felmann from the ground. Folks, I always tell you the AI cheats, and part of that's intentional. They ramp up their stats to make them tougher, but come on. CA, please. Anyway, I got Wrath and Ruin here. And they are indeed raining Wrath and Ruin on stinking, filthy Vampire Lord who keeps spamming me with Terrorgeist. Wrath and Ruin are going to take some nasty charges here, but they have good protection. The longer these Terrorgeist are in combat with these Chosen with halberds, they will melt away very quickly. No doubt my Chosen have been basting their halberds in garlic and holy water. Sigmar's holy water, I guess, they stole from the Empire. Make them ever more effective against these vampiric scum. I know the Hell Cannons just haven't ceased. Back here, Felmann is dealing with ever more Terrorgeist. He's absolutely swamped. I surrounded him with trolls to try and protect him from charges, but the breath attacks proved too much. That's okay. When Felmann routes like this, it means he won't get wounded. So the Vampire's just helping me out there. So Felmann is going to retreat to a safe distance and watch his troops. Now that leaves, unfortunately, Coco Pox in harm's way, because now the AI will focus on him. Since he's the second in command, you can see him taking 2 quick breath attacks in succession, and he will be wounded. Never fear, folks. He's immortal. You can't kill Coco Pox. But they are nerdily delicious whenever you eat them. I don't know, though. Cornflakes are quite the competitor, but some Coco Pox are always good for your chaos morning meal. Anyway, this battle brought to you by Coco Pox. Don't eat those cornflakes anymore. Anyway, here we go. So one of our Hell Cannons got bent up a bit. The other one's still thriving. And you can see the AI cycle charge abusing all of their Terrorgeist here. But it won't matter. It won't matter. My halberds can handle them. My leadership won't break. Unlike Chosen in multiplayer, these Chosen have a lot of chevrons, and their leadership will hold strong. They are not immune to psychology, but the vampires are not causing enough damage to their morale in order to cause a chain rout. Now, because my cannons got busy, I wasn't able to finish this Vampire Lord, but at this point, the vampires start crumbling because the magic that binds them is falling apart. And you'll see Terrorgeist crumbling to the ground, this one rotting in front of his lord, and this Vampire Lord himself will soon fall back to the earth. A rotten pile of ash, I suppose? My trolls need to escort him out, though. Good riddance, Vampire. And there is one more that's hiding back over this hill, making his way towards combat. But this Master Necro-spammer will also soon fall. Look at him just like, hey, I'm just gonna stroll in here. Hopefully the battle is not over and my forces are doing well. No real hurry. You know, take my time. And then as soon as he sees my Manticore in the distance, he just falls apart. I love it. Alright, folks, we have another battle there. It says that Coco Pox has been disbanded, but that seems impossible because I know I put Immortal on him. We do have to re-recruit Ruin and Remus, who all suffered great casualties. Yeah, Coco Pox is just wounded. He'll be back. It's tough to not get them killed in a battle like that. Alright folks, that's going to be all the time I have for this episode. Starting on the next episode, we've got ourselves a huge Tomb King battle to get going. Khemri has just awful defenses right now, so they're not worth our effort. I'm going to go down here and take on the Dune Kingdoms, who will have a huge garrison and a lot of reinforcements. Should give us a very worthy fight for Archaon's Chosen. And Archaon's Chosen are no joke. These guys are all insanely strong. So that is going to be the next episode. In fact, I will leave it to where that's right where we start off. So I'm going to continue the siege. They may attack us, but if they don't, I'm going to get some towers so that we take less casualties to assault the city. I will see you all in the next episode. You make sure and tell me what you want to see in the campaign. Get in those comments if you have suggestions, names for units. If you don't like anything I'm doing, get down there and tell me what I can do better. I do hope you all enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing out.